Mad setup, bud.
He's a bit of a cheeky setup, this one.
So what's on for today?
I got such a great feedback from last week's video with the bait prep and stuff like that. And by the way, thanks guys for liking and sharing all my videos. It's been got enormous feedback on that last video. It was only bait, but it was great. So today I got a lot of inboxes during the week, and obviously over the past few months saying how do you do rigging for jew and snapper and stuff like that. I thought I'd show you guys a few tricks I've learnt along the way off other fishers and me being on the water growing up since I was a kid. But this is probably one of the best jew rigs I've learnt through other people and myself, and picked up little do's and don'ts, and so I thought I'd show it to you guys. Step one's the rig. My weapon of choice, as you guys know, is Rapala, the Rapala Maxwell. It's a cork handle with a long taper. I love these old cork handle rods because it's they're a bit old fashioned, but the long butt too, which you can sit it into the rod rack up near the reel, and when a fish screams off with it, you've still got a lot of taperage at the bottom here behind the rod rack, so the snapper racks, which is good. It's a 7/6 rod. It's a Maxwell Rapala. I love this rod. I've got so many jew on it. It's fitted with a clash pen, a pen clash 5000. You don't need to fish too big with when you're fishing for jew, even snapper. The lighter you go, the better, I think. Today I'm fishing with only 20-pound line. A lot of fishers use 50-pound, 40-pound. The tides haven't been that big in the Hawkesbury lately. There has been some good tides, but the ones I've been fishing have been pretty average tides, so I've cut down to 20-pound line. A lot of people ask me out there, how tight do you have your drag? I used to fish years ago when I was growing up with really light drag, like that. And I found I lost a lot of fish, snapper. I wasn't really much of a jew fisherman back there, but snapper and other species. And I've been taught along the way and by other fishers and obviously learning by my own mistakes, is with jewfish especially, lock your drag. Not lock it fully, but at least have a kilo, 2 kilo of drag. So when the fish hits that bait, that hookup rate is that first bite. So yeah, I usually have my drag pretty tight. Nearly where you can't peel it off your reel. So, and you'll know if a good fish hits that, let me tell you, you know you're on. Cut a bit of this excess line that I've got peeling this reel, showing you guys. I've got a few lines out the back just in case one of these scream off while I'm doing this video for you guys. That would be epic. Alright, so you peel about a metre off your tip, and there's your braid, your main line, and there's your leader.
Let me get in on this action.
So you go up about a metre, just put your hands out like that. A lot of people are a bit finicky on measuring, but I just usually spread my hands out and cut the line.
What, show me that. Let's see what it's,
I'm using Black Magic 40-pound shock leader. Yeah. It's good abrasion, and everyone uses different leaders. I don't think it's personal preference with leaders, but that's what I use. So you've got about an arm's, nearly a double arm's length of that. I'm using a 45 kilo swivel, just in case it's a big fish. So this is your leader. Tying it on with a double uni knot. Always make sure you lubricate it up. You don't want to lose that big fish. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but I don't know. I think there are a lot of people are out there, so I usually trim them as short as I can. That's the swivel. I think the best percentage of stuff are in the water. Maybe because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but I think you better hookup rate. So there's your swivel to the leader. Like I said in last week's video, it's personal preference really, whether you're using a single hook rig or a double snell. Today I'm going to make it pretty simple, so just use a single hook rig. Turn it about 5 times, loop it back through, and pull it back through. Loop it, bang. Pretty simple stuff really. So there we go, so that's your leader. We've got a swivel down to a single hook. Preferably use a suicide 50, 60 when you're chasing jew. Don't be afraid to use a big hook when you're chasing jew, because even the small ones when they take their prey, mate, even if they're a small little soapy, they'll just scoff it. All right, so we'll put that up there. There's my leader. All right, now for the sinker part. I get about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 inches of leader. Usually go a bit lighter. This is for your sinker. Maybe 10, 15 pound line. So if anything happens, if it catches on a seaweed or a twig or a rock or anything, it can just snap off, and it won't abuse your main line. So with that, I put it down to another little swivel, which will run up my main line. And this is one of my old tricks. I've down to a duo lock snap. So it's a swivel, about 9, 10 inches, 15 pound leader, down to a duo lock snap. The reason why I use these is because they are here. The ones I use are mustard. They're a duo lock snap for those of you that want to know exactly what it is. The reason why I use these instead of just tying it straight to the sinker is because if your tide's running high, you've got a big tide or low tide, you can change sinkers through tides, and you take it off if you're cruising and you want to take your sinkers off and put your rods in your rod rack. These can clip to the inside of your eyes. So there we have it there. That's your sinker, which runs up the main line, and that can just hook on like that, and you can take it on and off whenever you want it between tides. So I've always found that a good little trick for myself. So what we do there, that's the sinker. We run it straight up the main line, and there we have it there. So that's running freely straight up the main line on your duo lock snap, which you can take off whenever you want. And then we've got our leader, which we got hanging off the canopy. So the leader, you got your lock snap on there, running up and down your main line with your swivel. You tie your main line straight onto your leader.
What knot are you using there?
Double uni knot.
Okay.
People can use whatever knots they want.
Lube it.
Lube it down. Here we go. Don't forget to be a bit of a perfectionist and trim your tabs. Put them in the bin. Don't put them in the waterways. Just remember that. There's your rig. So you got your sinker with the lock snap running up your main line. It's pretty simple. A lot of fish owners use these, and they've been using them for years in Melbourne and Sydney and Adelaide. I've watched so many YouTube videos, and a lot of people use a similar concept. I've sort of found that one with the lock snap where you can just change your sinkers and that I've found that so handy when you're traveling in between tides and stuff like that. So you can lock that onto the eye of your rod. Don't actually put it straight onto the eye, just put it onto the arm of the eye, and you can travel around without you pull up in your favourable spot, and there we have it. And you've got about 1.5 meters a leader, and it's perfect.
So what's that yakka doing over there?
So that yakka's there. I'm going to show you how to rig that. So there's the rig there. It's not the best place to put the hook. I'm just doing it for the video. Usually have a rod hook holders here, or you can tie something onto your reel. But there it is there. It's pretty simple. You've got your sinker running up the main line to a lock snap onto the leader. What we'll do, we've got a already prepped up yellowtail. There it is there. It's butterflied. Straight under the lip of the yellowtail. And there we have it. I'll lob that out the back. There's that for an entry.
There you go.
Wait till it hits the bottom. Give it a few reels. My missus gets out of the way. Give it a few reels. Bang. Straight in the rod rack. It's actually slack tide now, so yeah. Yeah, so that's how I rig for Jew. It's pretty simple steps, just the stuff I've learnt along the way, and honestly, like, I think if you perfect your rigs and you fish the same way you do all the time, and you're patient on the water, you'll catch jewfish. Anyway, I hope that's helped a lot of you fishers out there that don't know for rigging. At least you can watch the video a couple of times over, like it, share it, and show friends that don't know how to rig. For the ones that do know how to rig, hope you enjoy the video. And just don't forget to ride that fish, baby.